quickly, I want to show you how you can set up and use the stop motion app. Now, I have it on my tablet here. I also have it on my phone, but the tablet's a little bigger, so we're going to try to use it. I know there's a little bit of a glare. There's the stop motion logo, a little blurred out, but you should be able to find it pretty easy. It looks like an old camera. So I'm going to open up that. Let's see here. It's going to start on this screen. Okay. It'll have a demo and then where you can start a new movie. If you go to the purchases, you can get a lot of extra stuff. Everything for $4.99. Really, I don't think you need much of anything, except if you're going to get one thing, there's this remote camera option. So it lets you use another device as your ability to take a picture. If you have or are going to look when you watch the video where I show you how to set your camera up, I have a little remote, a little Bluetooth remote for my camera. If you don't have that, you can drop 99 cents on this, and your tablet can be used as a remote for your camera, or vice versa, whichever one you want to use. Maybe whichever has the better camera on it, or the easiest to set up. But either way, you don't have to buy this. You just have to be really careful when you hit take picture on your camera. So you don't have to have it, but if you want to, that would be one of the only things I would think you would need extra on here. Okay, so let's say we're getting ready to start our first animation. I'm going to pull this up. Yes, okay. Just a little tip there. Okay, so now one thing you're going to want to do is come over to this little slide bar settings on this side, and you are going to want to go to mode, the M, and you are going to want to change it from auto to tap to set and lock focus. Okay, so what you want to do is once you get your camera set up and it's the right brightness, because your camera is going to auto adjust how bright it is. You saw how blown out or how white that was. But once you get your focus right and you get your levels right as far as how bright or dark it is, you'll want to lock that. Because if not, if it's on auto, every time my hand comes in here, whoops, on the camera side, it is going to, see how it kind of flashes, and you're going to notice this blinding light that may take a picture as you work. So make sure you get it in focused and how bright or dark you want, and make sure you hit that lock. Okay. Now also, exposure should be the same, but if you do that, you should be all right. It should keep it locked in place. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back to auto for now. Okay. Also, you're going to be setting up your frames per second. You can hit this little wheel down at the bottom. You can go select your frame rate, so the speed, and you can frames per second. We're going to be setting it between 9 or 10 frames per second. So that just knows how fast it's going to play back the movie for you. Okay? All right, so I'm going to hit done there. So now all I have to do is hold this up, take a picture. And so it'll load a frame, scooch it, take a picture. Now that is a big gap between this frame and this frame. Okay, there was a big gap how far that moved. See? So you don't want a gap that big. It's going to look like things are jumping around. But as an example, so I could go in here and actually, if I want another frame back, let me scoot that back just a hair. I can take another picture and I can move it around. I can delete it. So I could cut it out, come here, and I could paste that frame in here. So now I can readjust things. So you can just get rid of, delete, or move around any of these little frames that you want when you're creating your image. and then you can play through it. It'll play through an example for you pretty quick there. Um, and you can also come up here if you don't want to pay the 99 cents. If you don't want to buy a remote, I would suggest using the timer. Okay, so you in theory know what you're going to do with your scene. So you can set your timer for 30 seconds. That's actually a really long time if you think about it. 10 seconds, whatever it takes for you to get out and move your little figure around. You could set it for up to 1.5 minutes, okay? But I could set it up for 30 seconds, and then every 30 seconds it's going to take a picture. You just need to make sure you're out of the frame before that picture takes. But that's a good way that you don't get that little rocking motion. You only have to really set this up once and then just keep on going, okay? So those are a couple of helpful things as you're working through this, okay? And then, you can back out and exit when you're done. It'll save it automatically. You can go in and rename it, just like that. Okay, and then you can, it shouldn't take too long, but I would suggest maybe checking out their little stop motion thing that they did. It may spark some ideas in theirs. You can see how long it is. They've added music. If you want to add music to yours, you certainly can if you want to, but you certainly don't have to. All right, so that's the Stop Motion Studio. And like I said, it's a free program. It's a free app. And if you have any questions about using it, you can ask me, and I will certainly point you in the right direction and give you the help you need for that. All right, guys.